Every time a brand launches a high-end sports car, it tells us that Porsche's 911 is its benchmark and its target. And then inevitably we drive the car and we say close but no cigar. This time things are different. With the brand new Vantage, Aston Martin haven't just thrown down the gauntlet to Porsche, it's walked right up to the Germans and slapped them in the face.
The second car range to be built under Aston Martin's new second century product plan, the new Vantage goes on sale mid-year at just under $300,000. Styling is controversial and is, well, a departure for Aston, both inside and out. Just 2 seats, an aggressive aero front and rear, it won't please the traditionalists, but nor is it likely to be mistaken for any of its stablemates. Underneath, there's a revised version of the British brand's latest chassis architecture, tightened up for its new sports car role. The building blocks are the same, but front suspension and steering have been optimised. The DB11's rear suspension setup has been swapped out for a more rigid arrangement. This, along with a new electronically controlled limited slip differential and torque vectoring, gives the Vantage its sharper focus.
Vantage is a very different car from the DB11 with which Aston relaunched in 2016. It's more focused, more driver-centric, and it's got a little bit of mongrel that is absolutely infectious. It's shorter, sharper, and has absolutely a different character. And that's what Aston's been after, a proper sports car.
And a proper competitor, at last, for the 911 and AMG's GT.
Even at first sampling, it's clear this car is more than a match to the AMG GT, with which it shares its 4-litre V8. It's very tunable on the throttle and very, very fast.
Under the Vantage bonnet, the AMG-sourced V8 gets Aston's own inlet and exhaust systems and a new tune. The twin clutch is replaced with a rear-mounted 8-speed auto, and overall, the result is a touch more polished. The British car's steering response is more pure, and ultimately it feels like it has more grip and it's better balanced than its German cousin, and competent.
It's a true beefy V8, yet it feels like a much smaller car. It doesn't feel like a big bruiser. It's got that wonderful, proper engagement that a sports car really needs. Portimao is one of those tracks that really takes a bit of learning. It's got nuances, it's got up and down. It's one of those tracks that has, well, what do they say, consequences. And you can feel awfully at home in this car very quickly. And if you want to, you can play a bit.
And Vantage is as good on the road as it is on the track. And while it's not intended to be the right car for a long blast across the country, the Vantage matches its key 911 competitor with the ability to blend a decent level of ride and confidence-inspiring handling. For once, this is a British thoroughbred that's not a one-trick pony. There's no mistaking where you'll want to be exercising your Vantage, however. Cars this fast and this capable can only ever be given their head on the circuit.
Aston's chassis boffins have worked their magic and delivered a car that has got probably more power down than the 911 GTS, but still has that wonderful nimbleness that you need in a pure sports car. It has a wonderful stable feel. It has real grip. It's sort of patchy, the track today, but this car inspires an enormous amount of confidence. It makes you feel like it's working with you, not against you, and that's important.
In its last generation, the Vantage spawned multiple variants, but even the most dynamically developed versions were still flawed. they were still cars even enthusiasts described with a but. Aston Martin has taken its new lease on life and turned it right up for the Vantage. The full Spinal Tap 11 out of 10 will have to wait for the S and AMR versions that are surely just around the corner. So, is this Vantage better than a 911? Well, only a direct comparison test will really answer that. Is it, however, already the best sporting Aston ever? Absolutely, and by a margin.